Good morning. How's it going? Coffee with Karen this morning. We got the old fart mug going on. And that's not referring to me, by the way. If you knew me since I was little, I have always enjoyed potty humor. In fact, my sister would call me Stinky, and I even had a t-shirt with a skunk on it once when I was little, because any potty humor would just make me laugh, and it still does. Just makes me laugh. I don't know why. So this is kind of a heavy topic, so I thought I would start with a little bit of just something funny. And who knows this topic I am feeling right now, and I just feel like, those who want to listen to it, it could be helpful for you guys too. And even just to process your feelings in the chat. And we're going to do it in a way that's, we're owning our feelings, right? So I don't want the chat to be, or the comments to be like, blame, blame, blame. Because that's really not the focus of, you can do that in other places, and I'm not even sure the energy is healthy to do that. So this is about processing. And I realized, like last night, I had the hardest time. I didn't even do the, so if you're in the spirit circle, every night it's only like 4 days old, but I've been just popping in and giving an SG hug if you're new here, I have these dowsing rods, and I can ask my spirit guides to give a hug to whoever's in front of me. And because of this issue, I realize now I had a hard time even doing it last night, even though it's like, that's when you need the hug, right? I couldn't even give myself a hug with them, because I can use them and ask them to give me a hug, and they'll go this way, And I think it has to do, a couple days ago, we talked about the Ho'oponopono prayer, which I can say it this morning. Yesterday morning, I could not say it. Ho'oponopono. And I've been really using it. So there's no doubt that's, but and I'm in a space right now where I feel like I'm just blasting it. Just because I told people in that to be careful, just be careful, do it slowly, but maybe I should take it a little slower. But, so what I'm really struggling with is, slowly I'm finding out, just through random conversations, about people who voted for 45 in my family. And my sister was telling me she just told me, and she has no judgment, because that's just how she is. She's amazing. So she was just telling me that my sister-in-law had voted for 45. And her reason, and this is what I'm struggling, it's not even important who, but when you know someone who, let me back up. So if you're on the left wing, if you catch left-wing conversations about this, people have, and this is something we have to figure out, is this appropriate, So they have kind of put it in our heads that if you listen to stuff, if you vote for 45, you're either racist or stupid. Okay, that's what's been the conversation. But I would actually, as I'm thinking about this, I would say you're either racist, because I would put that in that category, brainwashed, or not paying attention. Because many, many people just vote because they're not paying attention. They just don't. I get it. I paid attention way more in this one than I've ever paid attention. But earlier in my life, I didn't. I remember walking around to friends well, who are you voting for? I didn't even know what a Democrat was. I knew what my values were, but I didn't know where my values sat, But what I'm struggling, I'm struggling with two reasons with this one, with my sister-in-law, plus I have a feeling my very best friend who, you know, for many, I mean, we've been really good friends she's not my very best friend, but just very good friend. And she moved to Tennessee. And I know why she moved to Tennessee, because I know where we live is very liberal, and she moved to Tennessee and she just felt it was more comfortable for her, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure she moved there for other reasons, but she just said it was more comfortable for her. But that's fine. But this is a different situation. And that's the thing I'm struggling with. And I'm wondering if you ever have these kind of thoughts. First of all, I wonder, am I the one who's brainwashed? Because, and I'll tell you why I don't think it's me. Okay. And the thing I'm struggling with these two people, let's just say, these two people that I know, well, I don't know for sure that my friend voted for him. However, she's kind of avoiding me. So, I mean, this has like been a long time since we haven't texted or talked to each other. And, you know, you can just sense these things. Now, she just may be very busy, so I'm going to hold judgment until I find out. But I'm not texting her because I just can't right now. So the thing I'm struggling with my sister-in-law is that she says she voted for him for the economy. And I call BS on that. I can't help it. First of all, she's extremely bright and researches. Okay, she worked in insurance her whole life, so she knows how to research. And I sent her, a while back, I sent her a link on Project 2025 because I could talk to her about these things. And I was like, what do you think about this, you know? So I know that she was exposed to that. And I can't help it. I'm calling BS on anyone who says that they voted for him because of the economy. Because there's too many things that he did that shows that he's not a trustworthy person. And if you looked into his background for a second, you would know that he bankrupted 7 of his companies. He stole money from a private college that he basically started, and he stole money from the students. He stole money from charities. If you looked into his background for a second, so if you cared enough about the economy and that's going to be your excuse right now, you would have looked into that. You would have looked into that. There's no way a person who bankrupts 7 of his, you know, whatever, his individual businesses he did. There's no way if you bankrupt that much that you know how to really run the economy. There's just no way. You're not a business person. He's a scammer. He's not a business person. Why people think he's a business person is beyond me. He's a scammer. And if you just looked at and stopped listening to whatever you're listening to and look at the other side for a second, that's why I don't think I'm the one who's brainwashed. And not only that, but it's proven if you look at the history of every time a Democrat is in office, the economy does better than when a Republican's in office. That is a fact. And what happens then is that the Republicans get to ride the coattails of the Democrats after they get into office. They ride the coattails, they screw it all up, and then the Democrats have to come back in and clean it up again, which is exactly what Joe Biden had to do. And I don't care if you think that he would be better for the economy. He started, what happened after the last election when he lost? I'm not going to say anything about that just because I don't know if I'll get bleeped. But even that alone, like I've heard people say that was enough for them, and it should have been enough. It should have been enough. It should have been enough. He sat in an office for 3 hours watching it happen. It should have been enough. So don't tell me that you voted for the economy. The moral compass of people that I love is showing itself. And I'm really struggling with it. Because if you look at even just one, if you just listen to one of his campaigns, or even the debate, my God, or even the difference between the RNC and the DNC, you know, for a second, if you just listen to him and he was so full of hatred, and then you listen to her and she was so full of like caring and appreciative. It's going to make me cry right now because I just don't even get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Sorry to make this one so heavy this morning, but I just, it's just how I'm feeling. Bunch of old farts. I mean, bunch of old farts is what they are. I just thought we would do better, The problem is once I start crying, I have a hard time stopping. So, and I don't want to leave you like this, because that's no fun. And what a way to start a Monday. I'll have to put in the subject line that this is heavy, so that you can decide whether, you want to go here or not. I don't know. So, because it makes me think about I don't know. It just makes me think well, what do they know that I don't know? But I don't think it's anything, And I think I'm scared because I don't know. It's like, how you choose your friends wisely. Well, I'll be right back. Otherwise, you'll just watch me cry for an hour. Okay, I was only gone for a minute. I thought, well, if I got you crying, then we might as well cry together. And not that you did, but if I got you crying, then we'll come out of it together, right? Bunch of old farts. So that's the part that's hard for me, is I know she is not a person that didn't pay attention. So I don't know. Is she racist? Or is she brainwashed? And I don't even like the other issue of the abortion. If you just paid attention for a second, you would understand that law that's happening is not appropriate for many reasons. So you can't, even though that's your value, you can't vote for that right now until we get it figured out. You can't vote for it right now until we get it figured out how it helps women There needs to be an equilibrium with it. I mean, I'm a Democrat. Of course, everybody is pro-life. I mean, give me a break. Everybody is pro-life. People are not. And what I mean by that is, unless you're an MURDER and, whatever, a narcissist. I mean, to say, to even use those two, pro-life or pro-choice, I mean, that's just stupid. We can be both, right? We can be both. You're not one or the other. I'm both. I'm both. So to say, I don't even want to hear it. You didn't vote for that. I don't know. It's just common sense to me. The whole thing is just common sense to me. Put the two up next to each other or put their last rallies. No. Yeah. Put the Madison Square Garden rally, put that up next to Kamala's, if you just put them side by side, the Madison Square Garden rally and Kamala's final argument, which was freaking amazing. Excuse me. Put those two up next to each other, which was the last thing they did, by the way. So if you didn't pay attention the whole time and you needed information, you would just put those two up together. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And so it's like, people don't understand. This was more than just an election. This was like showing your moral compass. And I'm really struggling because I thought I knew. Or people change, right? But my moral compass is so different. And, like I said, you pick your friends wisely. We were always taught to do that. Pick your friends wisely. Well, I'm picking my friends wisely now, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And I can imagine, like, if you felt as strongly as I do, not everybody does. People don't care about this as much as I do. I care about this. I just do. It's just, I just do. I care about it. Because I care about things beyond myself. That's the other thing I hear, is how many people voted because of their own self-interest, It's like, oh my goodness gracious, people. You got to think a little bit. I mean, not just even a couple steps out from you, I don't know. But that's where, then you go, well, that's where the brainwashing comes in. But have you ever thought to yourself, like I've said it to my husband a couple times, I don't understand, like, what universe we're living in right now. Like, and again, I know people are going to talk about the different timelines and stuff, which I don't, I'm still getting my head wrapped around. But I don't know. It's interesting. I was going to complete a sentence on that, or a thought, but I can't remember what it was now. About being on their own timelines. Oh, happy Monday morning. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I should pull an angel card just to... Let me do that. Let me go get a deck real quick. Okay. So while I was getting the card, I just kind of reminded myself of, like, so this community, as we uncover kind of what it's about. And for me, it's just really staying in the flow for me in terms of like what I talk about every day. So like I woke up and this is what I was thinking about. And so, I mean, I had a note of something that I thought would be interesting to talk about, but every time I do that, it's not what I end up talking about. I might eventually, but it's not what I ended up talking about. So I'm really going with the flow of what comes. I feel like it's being downloaded to me because that's how this whole thing started. Just like every day, and every time I record something, it's because it's like, do this, you know what I mean? And so I'm just really going with the flow. So it may be that a lot of people needed this conversation, but I'm not like, I know there's going to be people who say, stay in the light, stay in the light. You're not helping, stay in the light. But what doesn't help at all is if you feel these things and you're just pretending that you're in the light. Because if you feel these things, you are radiating that energy. And I'm sorry, but we live in a world where we find out information. So I found out that my sister-in-law voted that way, which is nobody's fault. It's totally okay. It's random conversation. And you can't protect yourself from random conversation. I mean, you can't just go live in a cave, you know. We need to grow. And this is growing. I'm growing. So, you know what I mean? So you can't just be like, stay in the light. You're vibrating the wrong information. No, we are human, and I am going to heal it, and then I can be in the light. You know, like I already feel lighter now. So that's what I'm hoping. I didn't start by having a goal on this, but hopefully those who listen to this needed to listen to it, and maybe you had a good cry with me, and maybe you'll feel lighter now, you know. And I don't have any solutions. If I wake up tomorrow and I have another thought about, you know, I don't have any solutions. All I know is pick your friends wisely. Because I don't think there's anything different. Pick your friends wisely. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to use this deck today. Gordon Smith and artwork by Naomi Walker. Healing Spirit Oracle. This is one of my newer ones. It comes with a little booklet. This one didn't have a big book. The only one I've ever seen like has the big book is that angel card deck that I have. Okay, so I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect this channel so it's only of the light. Amen. Hey, you guys. So Jim, my husband, always says, because I go, hey, guys. So I didn't know I did that. You know, when you hear somebody do something over and over again. So when I do the rods, I always go, hey, guys. And so one time he just like repeated that back to me. He's like, hey, guys. So now that's all I hear in my head is, hey, guys. Oh, my goodness. All right. So is there a message? Is there a message you'd like to give us today on this topic that I've been talking about? And please just tap into universal energy. If you tap into universal energy, this topic of choose your friends wisely, to feeling quite disappointed with what I feel people chose between love and hate. And I think that's why it's so hard, is I feel people chose hate. The people who voted, I feel like they chose hate, and they chose hate for whatever reason they're hiding behind, and I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. And they can think that was the reason, but I feel like they need to look deeper into themselves. And I'm never going to call them out. I'm never going to call them out on it, because that's not my job to do that. That's not my, I just don't have any interest. They have to do that themselves. So, okay, anyway, so can you guys give us, help us understand from a collective consciousness, or just give us a message that would be helpful regarding this conversation we had today? So for those of you who don't know, I'm just shuffling until I get kind of an obvious answer. Usually they'll pop out one way or another. They're just waiting for the right card, I guess. Sometimes it takes longer than, sometimes they're just like, boom, you know. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture first. How does it feel? Oh boy, I can see what I see right away. Interesting. So I'll share my thoughts, but I'd like you to get your own intuition. What do you see? Hi, Luce. There's Lucy. Luce. It's interesting how my light turns. Look at it when I put this in front. It turns all yellow in the back. Okay, so the thing I saw right away was shattered glass. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's obviously how I'm feeling. I saw shattered glass. So I'm wondering what you guys, did anybody see hope and light the first time they saw this? Because it really does resonate back to your energy, I think, when you see something, like how you're feeling. That's the first thing I saw was shattered glass. Okay. Okay. So success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Okay. Success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Let me change it to feelings. Feeling isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Success. The election outcome isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Relationships aren't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. I don't know, I'm trying to interpret that a little bit. And the number is 28. Is that 28? Yeah, 28. That is small, that number. Hi, Luce. Are you giving us a little support? Okay. I might, oh, this booklet is tiny. I'm going to have to turn the light on. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So let's see. Success isn't what you have, it's what you do with what you have. Your life is about to move in new directions, but don't be in a hurry to conquer everything in a short space of time. Okay. So what that tells me is don't be in a hurry to make decisions about all this right now. I think it's just feel it. So don't be in a hurry to conquer everything in a short period of time. Okay. I'm just going to feel it. I'm going to sit with it. I'm just going to let things be. I'm going to let things be. I don't need to confront everything. I can just process the feelings and see where it takes me. Spirit sages teach that success is to be enjoyed and understood. Therefore, it must be allowed to open slowly. Like a flower whose blossom is enjoyed for much longer when it opens naturally and with the right elements, when it follows nature. Enjoy each step of the journey to your full potential and don't just look for the outcomes. The process is often the greater lesson. Yeah. So enjoy each step of the journey. So I really think that this is I think we have to trust. Yeah, we have to trust that everybody is going to get something from this. And their learning process is just different. And the United States is learning a great deal from this, and I think we needed to. We clearly needed to. Because if this many people voted for 45, we have a lot of healing to do as a country. We have a lot of healing to do as a country. And it is out in the open now. And once whoever is feeling the way I'm feeling, once we've acknowledged these feelings, which I clearly did today, and I don't think it's going to be over. I think it's going to, because you're going to learn more things and it's going to be hard. But once it's all out in the open, it's the same thing I'm feeling right now. Like I got that out. So now I can heal. It's the same thing with the United States. We got to get it all out. All of this stuff has been sitting under, it's, all of the systems that are only good for white men, really, who have been written by white men for the advantage of white men. All the systems, it's just the way it is. You really can't, you can go ahead and argue with me about it, but that's just the way it is. You got to learn about white privilege first. So I think we need to allow this to unfold slowly, which is what this recommendation was, and that there will be success at the end, So for those of you who are younger, I know this probably feels like, holy schmoly, But you are going to help heal this country. You're going to help heal this country. So we circle right back then to this community. And this community is about following your own intuition, letting it guide you, finding your answers within. And if your BS meter is, we talked about this yesterday too, if your BS meter is like bang, 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 follow it. And you don't have to take the BS. You don't have to, because that's how we're going to heal. We've got to stop accepting. Well, each of us have to stop accepting whatever BS we're used to accepting. Because if your intuition is calling it BS, then that's BS for you. Okay? And that's stepping into your power. That's stepping into what your team, your spirit team and you have decided is your evolutionary challenge or evolutionary path in this lifetime. I don't know. All these things that I say are just like coming to me at the time that I'm talking about it. So just, from past experience, I might be getting a little download. Just, how I'm feeling myself, that sort of thing. So you got to take what feels good to you and leave the rest, So, yeah, and it's not that you have to cut people out of your lives, but you can choose to put your energy over here. It doesn't have to be so dramatic. I've cut one person out of my life, and that was my dad, and I never really followed up on that, but it needed to. I have a video, a couple weeks ago, about will I lose my dad to 45? But it was more than that. It's been a long time coming, and it needed to happen, and I actually feel quite good about it, because the BS meter was and in my, and I'm just like, you know what? It's not a healthy relationship for me for a lot of reasons. So that just was the tipping point, It just finally played its card out, and I would just be able to, at least for now. And I've been saying the Ho'oponopono prayer for him, towards him. So, and I've been saying it now towards my sister-in-law and towards my friend, which is probably why I'm feeling this way. But again, take it slow. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video that's titled, basically what the Ho'oponopono prayer is. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so, that's it. But there's a video that's titled that. And so you might want to go and listen to that. And it's very, very powerful. So you just have to take it slow. So it's not like I'm not doing it's not like I'm just blowing everybody off and I don't care. Of course I care. I care too much. That's the problem. They're off doing their little thing. I'm sure my dad's like golfing still or whatever, which is fine. You know what I mean? But I always think I give this stuff way more thought than many people do. So, and of course, I'm retired now. I have GERD, so that's why you might hear me burping. I'm working on that, though. I'm taking a probiotic, a good one. If you take that stuff, I don't know if I would just randomly take it off the shelves, off any shelf. Just be careful of the kind of stuff you take. But anywho, all right, 35 minutes. This is just like one of those Lucy's hanging with us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for crying with me if you cried with me. I didn't realize I was going to cry today, but oh well, keeping it real, right? It's the way it is. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'm not 100% sure about Coffee with Karen, but I'll do it one way or another. Maybe I'll have to be at the airport. But I'm going to see my sister! I'm so excited! And her family, and I have not been to where she lives right now, ever, because she hasn't been living there, like a year or two. Maybe longer. Sorry, sis. But she's been coming here, but yeah. So I'm going there, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be there until the day after Thanksgiving. So she'll pop into a video, because I know some people have been wondering who she is, because I mention her all the time. So, all right, happy week. I'll see you in a angel card reading, or if anything else tomorrow with Coffee with Karen. Okay, go be an old fart today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.